subscribe or I'll make sure your Joy-Cons have drift when you're playing in handheld mode. Alrighty, what is quacking, everyone? Today, I'm here to talk about the release cycles and why I think Splatoon 3 is definitely going to be getting more content past what people are thinking. And I do feel like it's kind of like a down note to be people constantly saying, oh, we're not going to get third kits and stuff like that past a year, and people are really trying to compare this game to release cycle, which they cannot be compared, because after looking at when things were released to Splatoon 3, their release cycles are heavily different on how they released weapons and content in the game. So that's why I definitely feel like these weapons are going to, or this game is going to get more weapons, and we're going to have a lot more content, you know, even into 2025. So with that being said, I saw this tweet by ProChara, one of his, you know, normal, where he just says things. So he says, at this point, I don't think third kits are happening unless content is extended. Splatoon had second kits on all its weapons besides the Not Expo Blah Ballpoint, which got revealed at that time in a year. Splatoon 3 will need another season minimum, given just one for a few kits. Now, that is true, yes. By a year, Splatoon 2 did have second kits. However, the weapons, how they were released, is why they all had second kits. Splatoon 3 has only been out for a year, and the content release cycle is completely different. And the fact that people are still writing this game off, they're like, oh, we're gonna stop getting support after, you know, this long. It's like Splatoon 3 has been phenomenal for Nintendo. It sold 10.67 million copies. This is the earnings from March 2023, so it's probably at like maybe 11 million at this point. But Splatoon 3 is one of Nintendo's biggest, most popping IP. And honestly, I could see why Nintendo loves this IP too over Smash, because the Splatoon community is a little bit more healthier than Smash, so that helps Splatoon in that case. But besides that, Splatoon does super well, and especially Splatoon 3, and they're not just gonna drop dev support after 2 years. And there is rumors about a new console, and it does seem to be backwards compatible from the rumors and articles that have been coming out. So if Splatoon 3 can be played on the new Switch and it's backwards compatible, there is no reason why this game should just stop being in development and why it should stop getting new content. That just doesn't make sense. And especially because they're adding new weapons and more life to the game with different weapon archetypes like Pencil, Dread Ringler, you know, those weapons, those bring a lot of life into the game. Heavy Edit, all those weapons are fantastic. So there's no reason to drop and stop supporting this game when this game is like the best Splatoon game, period. If some people think Splatoon 2 is the best Splatoon game, then I want your drugs, honestly. Like, wherever you're getting them, hook me up, because that is like some craziness right there if you think Splatoon 2 is better than 3. And 3 has very solid movement. It's a lot faster than 2. It's very smooth, buttery. Like, Splatoon 3 is honestly, you know, how I could like envision the future of Splatoon. So I don't really see a Splatoon 4 happening anytime soon. And based on the release cycles, after looking at Splatoon 2 to 3, I'm just basically gonna show why that we're definitely gonna be getting more weapons for sure, more support longer than people are thinking. And I really hate this doom and gloom, oh, we're not gonna get new weapons, blah blah blah, like it's over for the game. Like, I really hate that like talking point that people keep posting. So I'm just gonna, you know, show why. All right, so this is the release schedule for the Splatoon 2 weapon. Splatoon 2 came out in July 21st, 2017, 5 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. So, and now if you look, the release dates are all the way on the right. You have, so it came out July 21st, then, you know, you see these release dates: August 12th, August 19th, August 26th, September 2nd, September 9th, 16th of September, 23rd of September. What are those dates? We're getting a new weapon every single week in Splatoon 2. These weapons are dropping like hotcakes, always coming out non-stop. I wasn't there for the release date, so if someone else wants to clarify if the wiki's wrong, then please let me know. But based off the wiki, I'm seeing how these weapons are being dropped. There's new weapons every single week. So if you're getting one weapon a week, and especially if there's no, like, you know, new archetypes of weapons or whatever, it's just normal weapons that Splatoon 2 is having, then one weapon a week, and sometimes, you know, there's like, you know, just one weapon a week, 52 weeks in a year, you're getting like so many weapons. And then you have here, right here, April 25th, you're not even getting one weapon in this week, you're getting 4 weapons in this week, and then 4 weapons again June 1st, and they're kind of spread out, you know, towards, you know, the like halfway, you know, through the first year of its life cycle, but they just start dropping more and more and more. Like every month they're dropping multiple weapons, so they go from one weapon a week to now multiple weapons every single month. So you have December 5th of 2018, all of these weapons. This is more than 5 weapons. They're just constantly turning out weapons until April 3rd of 2019, which was almost 2 years of new weapon releases for Splatoon 2, almost 2 years. So that's why there's so many weapons already in Splatoon 2, is because they're releasing weapons every single week, multiple weapons like every single week to a month. That's why there's so many weapons in Splatoon 2, because they were releasing them like hotcakes. They weren't spread out like they are right now. And now we have the Splatoon 3 weapon release date. So Splatoon 3 came out September 9th, 2022. It's been over a year now. And look at how these weapons are released compared to Splatoon 2. The release cycle is so different, and it's calculated. They give this game a couple months to, you know, we can develop a new meta. Some of these weapons are groundbreaking. We have the new season patches and mid-season patches. We have a lot of more formulaic with how a lot of competitive games handle their patches. Like League of Legends has a, you know, different patches. You know, stuff like Valorant has different patches. Fortnite has different patches. I'm trying to think of another game that's like more Destiny, for example. Like Destiny seasons are similar length to Splatoon seasons, so we have our, you know, new season patch and then mid-season patch similar to Splatoon. So we have 3 to 4 months of all of these weapons, and then boom, new stuff. We get new stuff, revitalizes the game. We're all playing for a month. Unless you're a crackhead, then you're on this game 16 hours a day and you somehow have 5,000 hours already, and the game's been out for a year. So that's the thing about the release cycles, and why we're most definitely going to be getting support into like even 2025, and especially with a new console that's going to make this game just, you know, even better, because, you know, hopefully it'll fix like a lot of issues with a stronger Switch, with Salmon Run and stuff like that, with more stuff on the screen. But we're definitely going to be more support with a very new, well-selling, defined IP in Splatoon, and with the weapon release structure. And granted, they're not always consistent with the amount of weapons they release. Like the very first post weapon release that we got in the first chill season, we had 13, and then afterwards in March we had 12 weapons. So it's not the same. And then these last 2 seasons we've only been getting 10 new weapons. You know, in September and December we only had 10 new weapons. I think we might have only had 10, something like that. Not going to count right now, but, you know, we're not getting the consistent same amount of numbers, but we're getting a decent amount of weapons in these updates, and it's enough to, you know, keep the game going, and it's definitely enough to incentivize the developers to keep pushing this game for a long time. And I don't think we're going to see a Splatoon 4 anytime soon with this release structure, and especially with introduced new weapon archetypes and new maps. There's a lot of life they're giving this game. And another thing that really makes me like confident that we're definitely still getting more, and why I'm kind of tired of this rhetoric of, oh, we're not getting more weapons, blah blah blah, is Octo expansion came out a year in June for Splatoon 2. We're not getting side order until 2024. So we're getting our DLC a little later as well. So it's like, we have all this content coming, and say what you want, like, you know, maybe they're not releasing a lot of content that you would like, you know, oh, they're only giving us 2 maps, you know, they're making it formulaic, obviously, with just, you know, a handful of weapons and 2 new maps, and, you know, oh, maybe a new Kohozuna boss every other season, something like that. Maybe it's not like a substantial amount of content, but it's enough to keep breathing life into this game, because at the end of the day, this is a competitive third-person shooter PvP game. They're still at least respecting the meta and trying to make sure that this game isn't uberly busted and trying to fix any issues in the game. But to be fair, a lot of y'all suck at the game anyway, so what you think is broken isn't actually broken. But besides that, it's like they're really trying to respect the game and give this game a decent, chance at not being a broken mess. So I have 100% faith that we're definitely going to be getting content well into 2025, and we're going to have very long-lasting dev support for this game. And when it stops, they'll obviously be making Splatoon 4, or maybe they'll move on to something else. Who knows what they're going to do? But honestly, I'm just kind of tired of seeing people saying, oh, we're not getting third kits. Oh, the game's going to die after 2 years, the content release cycle, when they're comparing it to a game that had a completely different cycle with how everything was released. So those are my thoughts on everything and how people have been whining and complaining about no third kits. Just let them release weapons. Enjoy the game while you can. They also respect the fact that, there's other games out as well. So, that's the fun thing about how this game seasons feel at times as well, is when they release stuff, you're there at the beginning, you're playing the new weapons, all that other stuff. And then it's just something like, oh, Zelda came out. Is coming out in a couple, Zelda comes out next month after the Splatoon season. Oh, well, I played this month for the Splatoon season. Go back to playing Zelda. But then you come back and you play Splatoon because it's a multiplayer game. You're playing with friends. You're competing against people. You're participating in Sendo Q, community activities, grassroots tournaments, all that other stuff. And Nintendo supports this game way better than Smash as well. Like, Nintendo hates Smash, but they respect Splatoon. Honestly, I think Splatoon community is way better than the Smash community, which is, it's good. It's fair to say that, and it shows why Nintendo supports this community, because we're very passionate and we love games. And I think they're definitely doing us a huge service by changing how they update the games, by also respecting our time in the game as well. They're not trying to shovel content at you 24/7 when it's just like, oh man, but I want to go play this, or blah blah blah. Or maybe they build community resentment, and then people just don't play their game when they're still releasing new stuff. So there's that as well. Like, take a game like Destiny, for example. They're shoveling new stuff at you every single week, every new week, new story mission, every week this. And it's just like, man, Baldur's Gate 3 just came out, bro. I'm trying to play Baldur's Gate 3. I don't care about your new season. Fix your game. Something like that. So at least the devs are like, here's all the new stuff. Have fun for a couple months. We'll have the mid-season patch update, so maybe that addresses some issues, and boom, that's it. You're good. So I think Splatoon 3 has a lot more going for it than people are giving it credit for, and the dev cycle is going to be a lot longer. But those are just my thoughts, my opinions. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next one. Splatoon 3 will be everlasting. Peace.